Are we live yet? Are we live? We're in the Glass Houses studio today, getting a show going here. I gotta shut the. Hey, hang on a second here. We're live. I gotta shut the studio door. Hang on, because I get better acoustics. I'm always worried about the microphone on this little camera. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I just was talking to my dear friend, April McCoy, and she's endorsing a gubernatorial candidate. You know, my friend Niles Anders the other day asked me, who I was going to support. And, my dear friend, Carrie Brennan, who better stop being mad at me, she goes, Henry, some people around this joint look up to you. Okay, thank you. That's nice that you think that. Yeah, I was a little angry after the election because what made me angry was what I was saying. And everybody says, Henry, it's not really so much what you say, it's how you say it. All right, that's me. So, I can tell Carrie she's right, but like that day I said, hey, it's not my day to make Carrie feel good about Carrie, Well, it's a big deal. But yeah, I'd like to, what I've learned about politics, running for county commissioner against Bobblehead, and running against mayor against Spencer Duncan. And so today, I'm going to tell you one thing. I got to support Spencer today. He's our mayor today. And I don't want to be a sore loser, but the things that I stuck my neck out, a friend of mine told me, Henry, you made it way too personal. Well, I wanted people to know the 4,111 people that they'd have somebody that was really willing to stand up against the system. And I can't fathom me ever running for political office again, but it might be fun to be governor someday. It might be fun to be a senator, but you know what? I'm a point man. I'm a recon guy. I'm a real estate. I've always been out there getting ahead of the competition by knowing what's going on. And I'm kind of just babbling this morning. But I'll tell you one thing. I would do, and I will do anything I can to help Spencer Duncan be a great mayor. And at the end of the day, we got to be happy that people are willing to step up and take the heat. But I do think on city council, we got to hold them accountable for buying hotels and giving away money to Cody Foster and his family. As a citizen, it's your duty to talk about it can't be all sunshine and lollipops and, blowing hot air up the skirts, as they say. You got to tell the truth. And our government, it's too big. It's too big. It is way too big. So, and what happens is like, well, wait a minute, whose responsibility is it? We haven't grown the population or broadened the tax base in 25 years, so let's stop funding go Topeka. Let's don't make it personal. Let's take away. let's take away, and really Cody Foster owes us $9.5 million. That's it. And everybody says Jimbo out there at Lawrence Bay, you know, well, it's his obligation as a citizen to, pay those taxes. Well, yeah, it is. But you guys, the voter, or we got to hold everybody accountable. You know, like, hey, until you make a deal out there on Lawrence Bay, just give the land to the land bank. You're not getting any more deals. What I liked about the mall business, we had what was called cross-collateralization. And if you're in default in one of our malls, well, we can default you in all our malls. And anyway, I just was thinking about my career in the mall business and how lucky I was. And it is what it is. But it is what it is, not because Kevin Cook says it is. That guy, I hope either Mike Halligan or somebody else come forward. We've got to replace Kevin. I had a guy in my office yesterday, and I showed him and told him the story about talking to Kevin Cook and then getting an email from Jimbo. And like when you look at it and see it, it's real. It's not me just yapping to become the mayor. I'm better off on this side of the fence anyway. But I'll tell you, I do love the fact that the people that come up to me and say they voted for me, and like I looked at one guy, I gave him the stink eye, and he goes, "No, Henry, I really did. I voted for you." That's nice, thank you. This is what I got to do. Any of you guys that remember this guy? I got to become more flexible. Hey, I'm going to, a commercial note for Kylie Edgington and the Sound Bass. This is a commercial, she's not, I wish she was a paid sponsor. That's funny. But you ought to go to her Sound Bass. If you want to reset yourself, if you're tired, it helps me. It's really helped me put politics behind me. You know, it's, being a loser of an election, it's almost like, well, when I say I'm glad I lost because now I get my own life back. See, it's like Mitt Romney. What a punk. Well, I didn't really want to win. Bullshit. You got your ass kicked. I don't like Mitt Romney. But anyway, I digress. But these sound baths, they reset you. And I walked out of the last sound bath. She's got one, if you're not doing anything tomorrow at lunch, she might have some takers. But Kylie used the sound frequency and this therapy to heal herself. It worked. 444. That doesn't come around to everything or to everyone. But I'm telling you, there's worse things than being a politician. Being a liar. I mean, there isn't a worse thing in the world than lying to people. But there's worse things than being an alcoholic. And that's kind of funny about my alcoholism. I never lied about it. It's pretty much in your face. Anyway, hey, I'm excited because I'm going to have a guest in the Glass Houses studio, a fellow running for governor. I never, right now I know Scott Schwab. I know him personally. I didn't like his answer about how to solve the real estate taxes issue. But we've got to change the corrupt. It's corrupt. It's wrong for setting market value. The only way you can set the market value is what someone will pay and what someone will sell. That's it. End of story. And Ty Masterson and Dan over at the house, you guys could change this today. And that's what I hate about politics, is there's so many things that we could change today. And I think there's things we've got to change in our educational system. We can't have 3 bathrooms. You know, that's bullshit. You know, Tampon Tim and his whole thing up in Smalleyville, you know, that's just terrible. You can't, look, there's 2 sexes. They put somebody in the auto pen, appointed, Tangi Jackson, I don't know how, anyway, what do you call him? Your Honor? But it's Justice Jackson. I think that's what you would say. She can't identify a woman. Well, how could she ever rule then on something that had to do with gender? And that's just stupid. That is absolutely stupid. Was it just, was it coloring in a box? I got to go out and renew my NAACP membership, I think. I want to do it. I want to belong just so I can say I belong. Banks is going around telling everybody I'm a lifetime member. I don't, I think I just renew it every year. But why not? But I think we've got to get to Dr. Anderson, and we really need to focus in on the inner city and how white flight still has infected us. Oh, and Debbie Potter, I just didn't have the energy. You know, Debbie Potter is on the state school board, and she's got some attorney intimidating her, and it's like the school board it's broken too. Look at white flight changed Topeka. Look at how many administrations we pay for. And we got to get more money to teachers or more money to run the schools better. So, and this is all just stuff we should be talking about because it's our duty. It's our duty as Americans. You can't just, and that's why I took Facebook off my phone. I took Instagram off my phone. I've got more time in my day, but hey, by the way, I'm in the Glass Houses studio, which is part of the Ryan Mulwinkle empire of commercial real estate, which reminds me, I got to go down the street on 29th. He wants me to turn my sign around, but we'll either sell or lease his condo down there. I've got all the condo documents. I got to go through those, and I'm going to get them all processed. I'm looking forward to adding an AI component to my business. I want to try to be a better real estate guy. That's all I want to do. I just want to make some deals. I got to figure out where to have an informational meeting about 37th Engage. Have you seen all that dirt Tyler Weibel's moving? My God, I think it's almost I think it's going to be 400,000 cubic yards. Now the church, the Orthodox Church, is taking the south end of that, and they're going to build a brand new church. You got to sell this land right here. And I'm telling you something, Father Nikolai, if you're watching, I may try to buy that myself. I'll figure out how to do it. You know, I get in debt, and then get myself out of debt, and then own 29 acres of land. And I can be closer to the monk that lives down there. What else is happening? We got to sell the church on Big John is working on that. And look, we got to find somebody that wants to put a house in it. I'm the guy that probably ought to live in the church just for all the positive energy. But channel that power, baby. So I'm getting stuff cleaned up around the Glass Houses studio. You ought to see the office that I built. Whiteboard on one wall, the whole, stood them up on end, had to trim a little of the edge, and then I made a desk that, no legs. We really built it professional. And Tyler helped me, and we threw this thing together pretty quick. But whiteboard on top of the desk. But I'm looking forward to today. I'm going to go out and enjoy 60-degree weather. I don't know what you all are doing, but get out and get some free vitamin D. They've been lying to you about vitamin D for years. It says, don't slop on that sunscreen. Get a little of that good sunshine. Henry McClure live down at the Glass Houses studio, fully engaged as a commercial real estate broker. And you know what? I'd really like to be a developer. I really would. I'd like to be a developer. I'd also like the first response out of trying to do something with the city of Topeka is, well, you got to engage a consultant. No, I don't. I don't need a consultant. I've been doing this too long. A consultant just adds money to the project. What I loved about Mace Siegel and Dana Kay, in the day, you didn't need to go ask for money. You just spent your own money. Mace, those boys had a $200 million credit line at Citibank, and they could just go buy a property, and then they cut in. They decide who they're going to cut in. They loved working with Northwestern Mutual. So we would refinance the mall 100%, give Northwestern Mutual a preferred return, and then own half of it and run them. I love Northwestern Mutual because they loved me. Yeah. Well, that's really it. I'm burning daylight. I got to go out and get some of that sunshine. And Bill Cochran, you're a true patriot and a dear friend. Bill told me he'd come back and be our city manager for $175,000 a year. Oh, and a company car. Why not? I hear Avery's doing a good job down yonder. Y'all keep up the good work. I love y'all. It is what it is. And not because Bobblehead says so.